The video kicks off with the judge dropping a bombshell. James Madon is facing a third-degree felony for failing to stop and render aid after a car accident that left someone seriously injured. The judge lays it out cold. Madon could be looking at 2 to 10 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. The tension in the room is palpable as the judge asks, "Do you understand the charges?" Maiden, looking nervous, replies, "Yes." But here's the kicker. This isn't Maiden's first rodeo. He was already on probation for a similar offense back in 2021. The judge's tone is sharp, and you can feel the weight of the moment as the camera zooms in on Maiden's face. This is the kind of drama that hooks you right from the start. Will he walk free, or is prison his next stop? The judge turns to Maiden and asks, "How do you plead?" Maiden, in a quiet but firm voice, says, "No contest." Wait, what does that even mean? It's not a guilty plea, but it's not innocent either. It's like saying, "I'm not admitting I did it, but I'll take the punishment." But here's where it gets juicy. Maiden also admits to violating his probation by failing to report to his officer in January and December 2023. When the judge asks, "How do you plead to the violation?" Maiden says, "True." The courtroom gasps. This guy just admitted to messing up his second chance. The judge warns him that this could mean 10 more years in prison, and Maiden, with a shaky voice, says, "I understand." You can't help but wonder, what's going through his mind? Is he scared, regretful, or just resigned to his fate? Just when you think Maiden's just another guy in trouble, the judge digs into his backstory, and suddenly it's a whole different ballgame. Maiden is only 21 years old, works as a dishwasher, and has a 1-year-old daughter. But that's not all. He's also the primary caregiver for his 13-year-old brother because his mom's health is failing. The judge asks, "Why did you drop out of school?" Maiden explains, "I had to take care of my family." The camera pans to his attorney, who adds that Maiden's been juggling work, kids, and probation, and it's been a struggle. Here's where things get messy. Maiden was supposed to report to his probation officer, but he skipped out in January and December 2023. Why? He says he was too busy taking care of his kids and working. The judge isn't buying it. "You had responsibilities to the court," he says sternly. The prosecution pounces, arguing that Maiden's violation shows he can't be trusted, but the defense fires back, saying Maiden's been trying to balance work, family, and probation, and it's not easy. The tension in the room is thick. Will the judge cut him some slack, or is this the final straw? You're on the edge of your seat, waiting to see how this plays out. Just when you think the drama can't get any heavier, the victim, Miss Petts, steps up to the mic. She describes the lifelong injuries she suffered in the accident, and you can hear the pain in her voice. But then she drops a bombshell.
"I don't think that you should be in prison or, but I did suffer injuries that are like for a lifetime. I just want you to understand that because I did go through all of that, you do deserve to go through some kind of consequence. I do forgive you, like it happened. It's been a long time already, but I just didn't, I hope you just know where I'm coming from, James."
"I forgive you." The courtroom goes silent. She doesn't think Maiden should go to prison, but she wants him to face consequences. The judge listens intently, and you can see the conflict on his face. This isn't just about the law anymore. It's about justice, forgiveness, and second chances. You're glued to the screen, wondering how the judge will balance the victim's forgiveness with the need for accountability. Maiden's attorney steps up and makes an emotional plea for probation. He argues that Maiden's trying to turn his life around. He's got a job, he's taking care of his kids, and he's committed to staying clean. The attorney asks for intense supervision, weekly drug tests, and regular check-ins. He even throws in a heartfelt line. He's not just a defendant, he's a father, a brother, and a young man trying to do better. The judge listens, but you can tell he's skeptical. Will he give Maiden one more chance, or is this the end of the road? The suspense is killing you. The prosecution is someone who keeps messing up get yet another chance. The tension in the room is electric and you can't look away. The The judge leans forward and delivers a blistering warning to Maiden. Leaving the scene of an accident? Breaking into homes? Do you realize how dangerous that is? He paints a vivid picture of what could happen if Maiden doesn't change his ways. Prison or worse, getting shot by a homeowner. The judge's words are harsh, but laced with a strange kind of compassion. It's like he's trying to scare Maiden straight. You're sitting there thinking, will this be the moment that turns his life around? The judge leans forward, his voice low and steady as he delivers his final orders. Maiden, he begins, you are to undergo drug testing and complete a life skills course. The camera zooms in on Maiden's face, his expression a mix of relief and anxiety. The judge isn't done though. His tone sharpens as he adds, this is your chance to prove you can change. But let me be clear, if you mess this up, you're going to prison. No excuses, no second chances. The weight of those words hangs in the air, and you can see the fear flicker in Maiden's eyes. He nods, his jaw clenched, looking like a man who knows this is his last shot at freedom. The tension thick as the judge continues. This isn't just about punishment, he says, his voice softening slightly. It's about making things right. The judge then shifts to the topic of restitution, explaining that Maiden will have to pay the victim for the harm he's caused. The exact amount isn't set yet, but the judge makes it crystal clear. Maiden's going to have to pay up, like he's finally starting to grasp the weight of his actions. The judge leans forward, his voice low and steady as he delivers his final orders. Maiden, he begins, you are to undergo drug testing and complete a life skills course. The room falls silent and you can almost hear Maiden's heart pounding in his chest. The judge isn't done though. His tone sharpens as he adds, this is your chance to prove you can change. But let me be clear, if you mess this up, you're going to prison. No excuses, no second chances. The weight of those words hangs in the air, and you can feel the tension building as Maiden nods, his jaw clenched, looking like a man who knows this is his last shot at freedom. The judge continues, his voice softening slightly. This isn't just about punishment, he says. It's about making things right. He then shifts to the topic of restitution, explaining that Maiden will have to pay the victim for the harm he's caused. The exact amount isn't set yet, but the judge makes it crystal clear Maiden's going to have to pay up. You can see the overwhelmed look on Maiden's face, but there's also a flicker of resolve, like he's finally starting to grasp the weight of his actions. As the hearing wraps up, the tension in the room is thick enough to cut with a knife. Maiden takes a deep breath, his shoulders rising and falling as he processes everything. You can't help but root for him, even as you wonder, is this the turning point for James Maiden, or is he destined to keep making the same mistakes? The stakes have never been higher, and you're left on the edge of your seat waiting to see what happens next. After the hearing, Maiden steps out of the courtroom, his attorney laying out the plan, weekly drug tests, regular check-ins, and life skills classes. Maiden listens, but his mind is a million miles away. You can see the determination in his eyes, but also doubt. Is he up to the challenge? Over the next few weeks, Maiden throws himself into the process. He's working long hours, caring for his 1-year-old daughter, and attending classes. It's not easy, but you can see the effort he's putting in. There's a glimmer of hope, but you can't help but wonder, will it be enough? The judge's words echo in his mind. This is your last chance. Don't blow it. Every day feels like a test, and the pressure is immense. Maiden knows one wrong move could send him to prison, but he's determined to change. As weeks turn into months, he starts showing real progress, passing drug tests, keeping up with classes, and saving for restitution. But the road ahead is still long, and the stakes are higher than ever. You can't help but root for him. Will this be the turning point for James Maiden, or is he destined to repeat his mistakes?
The court is going to find violation of condition number 4 true. The court is going to find you guilty. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. With regards to punishment, state, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're asking for the 10 years of prison. This is a third-degree felony. This is a SBI, Your Honor. Some other cases were taken into consideration in this plea. The defendant had opportunities between division. He didn't do much of anything on probation. I was trying to get some more information today. None of the answers are very satisfying. So we're asking for 10 years for prison.
Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, I asked that he be sent, continued on probation and sent to ISF for a period of time to get his thoughts together. Be able to get out on the street and be a productive member of society and also a father for his 2 children.
All right. Oh, yes, you wanted to add something?
May I address the question?
Sure.
Yes, I would like to say that I would like to suggest no tolerant probation, where I may be supervising weekly UAs. I do not use drugs,
Mhm.
and or an outpatient program, intense outpatient program that I can prove to the court where I can be responsible in completing my probation successfully.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. As previously stated, the court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. The court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you up to will sentence you to 8 years in the prison.
What was the consequence again?
Oh, you're going to prison for 8 years.
I'm going to prison for 8 years,
Yes,
and that's the done deal.
yes.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, okay?